Hey there everybody, I'm KCRA3 meteorologist Heather Waldman. It's Tuesday night and typically we would try to do a little live weather chat, especially with a storm coming in tomorrow with rain and wind and a little bit of snow for the Sierra. But it's also election night, which means our digital team is very busy making sure we're streaming all the latest election news. So we're doing sort of a non-live version of the weather chat. Going to do a little long-form presentation here on what we're expecting, the timing of the rain and the wind, how intense the winds could be, how much rain and snow we'll see. And we'll look at the extended forecast for just a second too. But I want to give you guys kind of a detailed look at what we're going to be looking at here. So there's our storm system, still centered well out over the eastern Pacific, but you can very clearly see the front with the rain and the wind that's going to be coming in along with it before most of us are up tomorrow morning. Let's start with the timing. This is our in-house model. Some of the models we show you here in these weather chats are things you can access here at home. This isn't one of them, but it's been doing a pretty good job. It's been pretty consistent with the timing and the amounts of rain that we're expecting. So 5 o'clock Wednesday morning, west side of the valley getting into this steady rainfall. It's still dry from Yuba City, Sacramento, Stockton, Modesto, but just in time. Yeah, for the main part of the commute, right around 7 o'clock is when that line of rain moves through Sacramento, Yuba City. It'll be soaking wet in Chico. Stockton and Modesto, the line of rain just approaching you. Notice the rain also beginning in the foothills at this point. We don't have snow in the Sierra yet, but here we go. If we're going to get into chain controls tomorrow, it's not going to be for long, but it may happen around mid-morning as that initial burst of precipitation moves in. It's not going to snow at lake level, but remember Donner Summit, Echo Summit up above 7,000 feet. Snow level briefly drops low enough. Maybe get an inch or two of some slush over the summits if you're going to be traveling over 80, 50, or 88 to get over to Nevada. Have the chains and cables ready and be ready for wind. We'll get to the wind here in just a second because everybody's going to have to deal with it in some fashion. But notice as we go through noon, the valley gets a lot of dry time. The wetter time of the day for the valley is really going to be the morning. That's going to be the windier part of the day too. But for the foothills and the mountains, we've got that air moving from west to east. It's moving up the west slope of the Sierra, and it's going to keep the rain going pretty much all day long. But notice how the snow, again, just not very widespread. The air is just not cold enough with the system. There's certainly plenty of moisture though. By 8 o'clock Wednesday evening, any late errands, sports practices, things like that, the ground's going to be wet, but the rain at this point will be slowing down, and the wind is going to be a lot lighter by that point as well. So that's the timing. Let's talk about amounts. If you've been following along with me on social media and checking in with me on forecast amounts, what you're going to notice here tonight is that we've actually increased the numbers, especially for the Sacramento Valley and the adjacent foothills. East side of the Sacramento Valley could see up to an inch of rain. Sacramento, Colusa, Winters, Vacaville, closer to a half an inch there on the west side of the valley. And then as we typically see, the farther south you go, the lower those numbers are expected to be. You go up into the foothills, Placerville, Auburn, Grass Valley, Jackson, Sonora, somewhere around an inch. As a general rule, the higher up the west slope you go, the higher those numbers are going to be. So Blue Canyon, up above 5,000 feet, we'll see 2 to 3 inches. Truckee and South Lake Tahoe, this is just a rainmaker for you at lake level, half an inch to an inch of some rain there. We've been telling you all week, snow is not going to be impressive. There may be an inch or two of slush over Donner or Echo Summit. Rain is going to wash that away fairly quickly, but for the few hours that slush does stick to the summits over 80, 50, and 88 into Alpine County, yeah, we could get into some chain controls before noon on Wednesday. So if you can put your travel off until Wednesday afternoon, well, at least you won't have the snow to contend with, but you will have the rain and the wind as well. So this is something we haven't really had to deal with yet this season. We've had a few rounds of rain over the last 6 weeks or so. They've generally all been beneficial. Now we're going to start to get into some wind as well. So I'll go back over the models here and again time things out, and what you're going to notice is that the strongest winds are coming in right as that heaviest line of rain is coming in. So this is tonight. Winds are picking up. Here's 4 o'clock Wednesday morning. Notice the west side of the valley gusts over 40 miles per hour. Keep in mind this is model data. I think some of these numbers are a little high. I doubt we see gusts over 50 in Clear Lake, but it's going to be a windy morning. We can say that with certainty. By 7, 8 o'clock, right as that line is moving across the valley. That's when Sacramento, Roseville, Grass Valley, Yuba City, Chico, that's when we'll see the gusts up over 40 miles per hour. And that could last for a good 4 to 6 hours or so. It's going to be a windy morning. Also pay attention to the numbers here in Truckee and South Lake Tahoe. That's where the highest of the winds are going to be, over the Sierra Crest and over to the east slope. And that's going to last all day long. This is late morning, still breezy in the valley, but the wind is backing off. But as we get to, say, 4 or 5 o'clock, yeah, the wind really getting more subdued. But Truckee, Tahoe, the summits, still potentially gusting up over 50 miles per hour. So winds of 40 miles per hour in the valley, gusts, not sustained winds. Sustained winds will be around 25. That's the kind of wind where if you have the Halloween decorations still out, I saw a neighbor that actually switched over to Christmas. If you have any holiday decor out, maybe you were just out enjoying the beautiful weather we had this weekend, if you got the patio furniture back out, I know it's late, just take a second, make sure everything is secure, brought inside, because tomorrow morning is going to start off quite windy. I don't think we'll see widespread damage in the valley, but 40-mile-an-hour gusts with rain, that could be enough to bring down some weaker tree limbs, especially those old oak trees. They've been drying out throughout the summer. If you park your car under a tree, tomorrow's going to be a good day to maybe not park under that tree if you can help it, but winds in the Sierra could be quite a bit more problematic, especially for the semi-trucks going in some of those crosswind areas. It's going to be a two hands on the wheel kind of day. If you are going to be on 80 or 50 and you're trying to pass one of those semis, you know, do it quickly. Don't want to stay alongside them for too long with gusty winds like that. So that's a look at the wind. Tomorrow's going to be a good stormy kind of day. We wake up to the wind and the rain, and then things quiet down for a while after that. So here's this is the American model, just to show you the extended outlook. So there comes our front tomorrow morning. By the time we get to Thursday, the wind relaxes. It's still an onshore flow. It's going to keep temperatures on the cooler side, but it's a dry day. Friday, may get some showers in the hills, but the valley's going to stay dry even as the clouds move back in. And here we go, just in time for the weekend. This high is going to keep things really nice and comfortable for this time of the year. Lows in the upper 40s, afternoon highs in the low 70s. Good amount of sunshine, light winds to come with that. We're going to keep an eye on this area of low pressure. For right now, models are keeping that well offshore. Not going to be an issue for us, but you see what's going on out here. Yeah, storm systems starting to kind of line up like ducks in a row there in the Pacific. This is that time of the year. It is early November now, believe it or not. And this is when we start to look for more active weather, more than just, the one-off weather system coming through. And while tomorrow's is going to be, the first and last that we see for maybe a week or so, if we look out into the even more distant future, there are signs that maybe we get another system or two coming second or third week of November. So this is the precipitation outlook from the National Weather Service. I always show these and tell people to take it with a grain of salt, because we are talking about general trends. This does not tell us how much rain we could see. It does not tell us what days we could see rain or any kind of specific amounts. But the overall idea here is that much of the Southwest has an increasing potential to be wetter than normal between November 12th and 18th. So that's 8 to 14 days from now. That's, out in that time range. Forecast models can vary quite a bit in what they're telling us. But I do want to show you one example. Oops, pardon me here. If you'll just bear with me for a moment. And I'll show you this with the ultimate caveat that we are definitely looking out into Fantasyland here. So this is an online version of the GFS. Anybody can access this for free. There's tomorrow's little front whipping through. There's Friday's showers. Dry through the weekend, dry early next week. This is, let's scooch this over. This is November 11th, so a week from today, still dry. Okay, there's another possible system, not unlike what we see coming through tomorrow. This is late Wednesday into early Thursday, November 12th and 13th. Models have been kind of hinting at something at the end of next week for a little bit. but look at this. And another one. So that's where this is coming from with the National Weather Service. Again, the ultimate caveat there is anytime we show you anything beyond day 7, we're in dreamland or fantasy land. The models are going to go back and forth on that a lot. But that's promising to see. November is when we start looking for more consistent rain and hopefully some snow. Tomorrow's weather system not going to be a good snowmaker, but as we get into November, December, January, the days get shorter, they get colder. We hope for more snow. So yeah, while tomorrow's system is going to be the first and last that we see for maybe about a week or so, signs that things turn more active as we get a little bit later into the month of November. So stick with us. We're going to keep you updated on things as they come. But tomorrow, a wet day, a windy day, especially in the morning. Things will get quieter Thursday, and the weekend is looking really good for any of your outdoor plans. Of course, it's election night. We'll have full coverage of the results for California and some of the national races as well. So we hope you join us, KCRA and KQCA, after basketball. And of course, we're posting updates online as well, both election related and weather related. Have a good night, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.